Yo, Wagwan people. I know it's been a little bit since I made my last video, so this is kind of overdue. And I'm not even gonna talk too long on this one. Um, I know my attention span, and I know everyone else's attention span. So, but I wanted to talk about a thing, something that's personal to me, and maybe you could relate, maybe you can't, but at the very least, you'll probably find it interesting. So, just to provide context, I had a very interesting life, to say the least. Like, I grew up hard. Not that, like, we were super poor at any point or, nothing like that. But I grew up in a household with conflict, and I grew up around a lot of conflicts at home, at school. You know, uh, it's never been easy for me to relate to anybody besides, my closest family members. So, growing up, not being well socialized, just not connecting with other people. I don't know what you would attribute that to. Some neurodivergence, some just inherent personality traits that I have, but you know, I always had an issue connecting with others, and I wasn't able to put a finger on it until I got much older. Like until I got to maybe my late teens, where I started to feel as though I was fundamentally different from other people. Now, in hindsight, a lot of things could explain this. Me having ADHD that was undiagnosed, untreated, um, possibly some other neurodivergence, and probably a lot to do with traumatic experiences, which kind of alter or disturb your sense of self. So not only did I not relate to others, and not only did I feel as though I didn't know my place in the world due to a lack of knowing who I am, and being intellectually inclined to certain topics such as psychology and philosophy, and uh, due to me wanting to understand the human condition and just having all these existential questions, I started to develop, maybe you could say it's a complex, um, or just a feeling. And listen, I don't want to frame this in a purely negative way, but it's been times where I felt as though I wasn't fully human. You know, it's been times where I felt like I was a being having a human experience, but I wasn't a human like other humans. You know, um, and again, I don't know if anyone could relate to that. Um, and even if you do, I hope it doesn't really disturb or indicate like a low self-esteem or being too hard on yourself. But it's been times like I've really theorized, and I'm not only am I into psychology and philosophy, like I'm very into spirituality as well, and I feel that there's validity and credence to the idea of reincarnation in some level. There's been times I wondered, like, am I a being that has just been, transferred to a human body for this lifetime, and I don't, because of that, I don't really know what I'm doing. Um, Other times I feel like maybe I was a different creature in a prior life. Like, I always said that like my animal guide or spirit was like a wolf, because, and not to sound edgy or cool, like that's just what I always related to, like a wolf that you know has those innate characteristics, like being um social but also being solitary, being protective, but also being vicious, being you know, just in tune with the world around you, but at the same time having a adversarial attitude toward the world. You know, I want to say my most one of the most interesting analogies I came up with for my experience as a human is the idea that at one point I was an angel, and for whatever reason, maybe due to some transgression or misstep or rebellion, that God sent me down to earth to have a human experience, not just as a punishment, but as a way to learn. You know, but and other times I was like, maybe I'm just an alien. Maybe I'm an alien, and my species put me here and didn't tell me just because they want to observe how it is and see how I adapt. And maybe they'll follow suit after they've gathered enough information. It's just the way I conceptualize and maybe over intellectualize the idea that I am different. You know, and it's not bad, it's not wrong, it's just how I feel. And it's not necessarily a stumbling block all the time. It's what makes me me. So I just wanted to share that. I wanted to see if anyone agrees or or relates to it, or if you don't, like, at the very least it's some food for thought. So if you're watching this, thank you. I encourage you to like, subscribe, please comment more than anything else. I love discourse, and if you find this interesting, check out the rest of my videos. And I hope y'all have a beautiful day. Stay warm, stay peaceful. Peace.